Good morning and welcome to week 6 of PA117. And this week we are talking about controlled substances. We are in chapter 4 of your book, The Essentials of Law and Ethics of Pharmacy Technicians. And this is where I think it gets really exciting because we're talking about controlled substances. And so I can't wait to dive into this. Chapter 4, we are on page 41 and we're only going to 51 this week, so half of the chapter. I love how they're really breaking it into something that we can bite off and talk about. Just some housekeeping. The discussion question is about a scenario. So it talks about a scenario about a patient bringing in a prescription for an allergy medication. She's sharing it with her son. There are 4 different questions that you need to answer in the discussion, and it really lines them out so that you know what to add in your discussion. So I'm thinking your discussions will be pretty long this week. And if you want to even 1, 2, 3, 4, or you just want to add it in your paragraph, either way is fine with me so that you know that you're answering all 4 of those questions for your discussion. Your assignment is a 300-word essay, and this is fact and opinion based. So first I want you to tell me about the fact. There's a controlled substance that it's asking you about and how they're registered, and we're going to talk about that in lecture today. And then it wants you to give your opinion on, do you think that this is enough, or do you think the DEA should be a little bit stricter on this after you read it? So I'm interested to hear what your opinion is, and if you have any ideas on systems that we could give, or systems that we could put in place. And then your quiz is 10 questions long. I just went through it. It's very easy. If you've read the 10 pages that you're supposed to, you should be able to walk right through that and get a really good grade on that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start lecturing. I'm going to hit some of the points that are on the quiz and then some of the points that are in your assignment. So it again starts on page 41. It's about the Federal Controlled Substance Act of 1970. 1970, shoot, that was just recent. It feels like it has been a long time ago, but 1970 is something that maybe some of us were born in. Maybe some of us were here to see. And so I think it's pretty interesting that this law just came in effect in the 1970s. And so I'm just jumping down here in a few of the paragraphs. It says the CSA provides methods to control drugs that are considered dangerous through their potential for addiction and abuse. To regulate these controlled substances, this act created a closed system of manufacture, distribution, prescription, and dispensing by assigning each entity in the system with the registration number provided by the responsible federal agency, the Drug Enforcement Administration. So the DEA is really the one behind this. Only businesses, institutions, and people registered by the DEA may legally handle controlled substances, which thereby provides a method of managing these products and keeping them out of illegal channels. Chapter 4 discusses these. So it gives the definition of what a controlled substance is, and they are in 5 different categories. A pharmacy usually dispenses controlled substance from a manufacturer's stock bottle, and this bottle by law must be labeled with a capital letter C. And in most cases it is in red, or you can see it right on the bottle. It has a C right on it. If you ever have a question about it, is right there on the bottle. And a Roman numeral from whichever schedule the controlled substance is listed. A hyphen may also separate the two. For example, C2, C3, C4, and C5 may be printed on the stock bottle, or the label could be printed with that. And it just depends on your pharmacy software if they do that. And here it talks about the schedules. This one is an important chapter to read, or a paragraph to read on page 42. C1 substances have the highest potential for abuse. Currently, these drugs have no accepted medical use in the United States and lack proof of safety for use under medical supervision. Including Schedule 1 are numerous opiate derivatives such as heroin, hallucinogens, marijuana, and LSD. By law, these drugs may not be prescribed and are only legally seen in some research situation. That is a certification test question. C1, do we dispense them in the pharmacy? What kind of drugs are they? And so you need to commit that to memory right now. C1s are not dispensed in the pharmacy. They are illegal. C2 has a high potential for abuse. Their abuse may lead to severe psychological or physical dependence. And this is something that when I started working in the pharmacy, I didn't understand, but now understand. And let me sort of tell you what I mean. So we know a lot of people who are addicted to drugs. If you read this statement right here, that these controlled substances cause severe psychological or physical dependence, these, in some cases, are not the patient's fault that they got addicted. The drug did this to them. The side effect of the psychological and physical dependence that they can get from these medications is scary. This is what it says. This is why they are in this class. And so I'm just telling you this because the compassion that you need to have for people. Yes, we call them, they're abusing drugs, or maybe they're abusing the system. And it's all wrong. Of course, it is all wrong. But it just hurts my heart to know that the drugs cause that. The drugs themselves cause that addiction. I'm just floored by that. Anyway, moving on. Schedule 2 controlled substances are currently accepted for medical use in the United States. They're like morphine, cocaine. They're derivatives of cocaine, codeine, stimulants commonly used to treat attention deficit disorder. And also, they are the ones that are locked up in the pharmacy, so you will find them in a safe. They're not out in the regular medication shelves. These are the ones that are locked up. Controlled 3, 4, and 5, they get, have lower potential for abuse. They just go on down from there. And I love the table on 4.1. It just gives you a quick, here's what it is. And then who must register? You might want to go into that. You have to be licensed and approved by the DEA. What a registrant may do to get registered. You can read through that. Security and storage, I just talked a little bit about that. And then who may place orders. This is a good one to read. The procedure for ordering and obtaining controlled substances is different from ordering and receiving non-controlled drugs. So in the past, I've talked about a technician usually is the one who will go through and just maybe order the medications for the night. That is not true with controlled substances. To obtain Schedule 2 substances, a DEA Form 222 or triplicate order form must be used. This is a certification test. How do you order controlled substances? A DEA Form 222. Commit that to memory. The DEA issued these order forms to be distributed to registrants on request. And let me tell you, when they say that they issue these forms, they literally know how many they're giving that pharmacy for the year. They are numbered. They are triplicate. So if they don't have that exact number at the moment that someone comes in and checks, the DEA comes in and checks, they can get in big trouble because someone else could order with a DEA 222 form. The forms contain the registrant's name, address, DEA number, and the schedule the registrant is allowed to order. Each order form is individually numbered, just like I just said. The people who sign the applications for registration with the DEA are the people who must sign this completed 222 order form, and sometimes that is the head pharmacist. So not all the pharmacists would be able to sign, maybe just one for that pharmacy, and so that's why the controlled substances are only ordered maybe once a week. So they're very powerful, and only authorized people are allowed to use it. And I would go on and read. I'm running out of time here. Then the records kept by pharmacy. This is some on your quiz, so I would read through that. And records kept by institution, individual practitioners, records maintained by narcotic treatment, and then who may prescribe All right, so that ends with that. Okay, I hope that you've learned a lot about controlled substances. We'll talk more about it next week, and I hope you have a great week. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'd love to answer them. Bye-bye.